I can talk forever.
Oh, I did it. I pushed the button. It's happening, and it's real.
Um, First and foremost, I don't know what you're doing with that hoodie. Aren't you supposed to have a sponsored shirt on today?
Bro, you can't see it. It's fine. If you didn't point it out, it wouldn't have been a thing.
I'm so used to you having something that somebody gave to you. I figured you already
Here,
had it.
I just wanted
So,
to have a nice comfy hoodie on, but if you're going to make a thing about it, we'll do a shout out real quick. What is that?
what?
Anyways,
Oh, let me turn the volume down. My bad.
yeah, turn the volume all the way down. We got an
I,
echo.
I turned it off, brother. I turned it off. My bad.
Is this better?
Huh? That's awesome. I'm proud of you.
Oh, I just wanted to be comfy because I'm feeling pretty sick.
Why? What happened?
I'm just feeling sick. Like, body, brain, and reality are not lining up at the moment. What's up, Carlos? What's up, Young Wavy? What's up,
Dang,
Sigma
Young Wavy hit
Ghost?
you with 300. Hey, what Young Wavy's doing right now, I don't notice if you notice. I don't think you pay attention to Willy Boys, do you?
No.
Okay, so I don't know how the algorithm works, but I know that if you say you post an Instagram clip and you instantly start getting a shitload of comments and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like by a lot of people, it gives you better, like, your views and everything stack up more. So if you
Okay.
watch those Willy Boys, some kids will go on there like that Young Wavy just did and do 20 fucking comments like back to
Oh.
back, and they'll all do it.
Dude, Instagram is so weird. It's always so random what goes crazy.
It's dead right now though.
Yeah.
It's absolutely dead.
Let's see. Stony. The only way to get that bike is to enter the giveaway with a comment on that video. What's up, Kevin Zuba? Polling BMX.
Kevin,
Christian, you got the
Poland.
sound wave? Hell yeah. And 20 grip. What's cracking is my current freaking mental status because of how tired I am.
Why are you tired?
I'm sick. It's hard to keep up on everything I do whenever you're sick. And I
Yeah.
rode yesterday for the first time in like 10 days.
Oh yeah, you have the same thing I have. You're good at stacking clips. You could literally not ride your bike without a person knowing. Probably for how long?
Oh, endless amount of time. A
I have
year. Oh,
I
what happened?
have 3 edits stacked in my phone right now. I've never used clips that I could probably post, and I have 300 clips I could probably have that I haven't used, but I
And,
don't. You know what I mean? Same thing as you. I saw that file, that folder you have. You have a fuckload of
and those
clips.
are real clips, like filmed with a camera. Like those are video worthy. And I just need the time to finish editing. Tom Dunn, yes, the giveaway bike comes with a clutch, Odyssey clutch free coaster on it, and it comes with brakes on it. Let's talk about that for a minute. The whole concept of that is to comment the name of your local bike shop, and there's almost 500 comments on that video.
Really?
That's crazy. There's
What's the views? What's your view on it?
And the crazy part is the ratio. There's one comment for every 3 views, so there's 1,500 views almost. Pretty
Well,
nuts.
it's pretty good.
Well, it's
It's
just good
pretty
that
good.
there's so many bike shops getting shouted out. So many. I mean, obviously there's repeats, but there's hundreds of bike shops being listed.
Looks like I'm going there tomorrow for work. Good.
There you go. That'd be a good place to start. Just go through the list because it's got literally the city and the state. Chris Gold brand bottle. Do you want to know a secret? Ricky knows my secret about when it comes to whiskey. I've literally never drank before.
Nor have I. I've never had a drink in my life either. Well, I mean, I lied. I drank for 9 months straight, and then my mom gave birth to me. But that's about it.
Oh, that's so bad. What I did want to talk about, I don't know if people are going to want to hear it, but I wanted to talk about stuff outside of BMX because obviously we know you are into video games. Um,
You want
like,
to talk about China? Because that's a huge fucking the Hong Kong China thing right now in the video game industry is huge. Then we can talk about everyone leaving Twitch and going to Mixer, and then if you want, we can talk about how Shroud and Ninja just both left for Mixer.
interesting.
What do you?
I wanted to talk specifically about you and your video game stuff.
My video game stuff?
Yeah, like did it start with Nintendo? Did it start with Atari? Was it always an obsession? Did you always collect things? Or are you collecting things now because you couldn't collect things before?
Mine was more of I would go to a certain person's house, and obviously I grew up poor, but I grew up poor in a different type of poor. Like
Mm-hmm.
my parents are older, so my grandparents adopted me. So they just didn't believe in technology shit. They're
Yeah.
just like, you don't need that. Go get a job. I'm 10 years old, Dad. What the fuck are you talking about? And so my dad always didn't want me to buy anything, so the only way I could play things was to see at my friend's house. So
Yeah.
like when you hit a certain age, like when I became an adult, I was like, everything I ever wanted as a kid, I'm going to have,
Right.
And then my dad passed away, my real dad passed away, and I got like veterans money,
Uh-huh.
like from him being military. And so my grandmother, not being a douchebag like some people would be, she spent, I think I got $200 or $100 a week, so it was like $400 a month. Instead of spending it for herself or whatever not, she just let me spend it. So I bought every Nintendo game I could, every Super Nintendo game I could, every PlayStation game.
Is that any of what you have out there?
Yeah, I only have like 100 games. I have 100 NES games, 20 something Super Nintendo games. But my thing with it is I just been I just get commons. So I don't like to do the like if I go to a like a retro game store, I'll mainly just go to buy something complete. Like if it's complete in a box and I really like the game, I'll buy that, but a majority of the time I only like to find them in the wild. So like if I
Yeah.
go somewhere and someone wants to hook them up or pawn pawn shop or you know
How many of those games do you actually like as far as the game goes and playing it?
uh I got like ABC 1, 2, 3, fucking Sesame Street games. I've tried every single game and like legitimately tried to play it, but just the mechanics on some of them
Are
are
so
absolutely insane.
bad.
Oh, they are definitely. Like realistically, if instead of buying all that stuff, I can just go to on a computer and hook it all up.
Oh yeah, you can play it. Yeah.
I can play any game, but I prefer to physically own all those.
And it's
So
just cooler to play it for real.
yeah, like I bought a retro system because I don't like I have my original Nintendo since I
Yeah.
was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I kept that. I am literally a hoarder. So when
The
it
cleanest
comes to
hoarder house
things,
ever.
huh?
The cleanest hoarder house ever.
Thank you. No, but like I I just somehow made it in myself to save things. Like
Yeah.
I went to McDonald's and I thought this Star Cup or Star Wars cup was so cool. I never threw it away. I still got a Star Wars cup from McDonald's from the 80s,
Like a
not the
paper cup?
90s. Like I'm talking like I was 8 years old and I kept that.
Like paper?
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
And then I kept a Taco Bell cup from like 91 or 1990. I kept I got a comic book that I randomly bought a number 1 of something Rugrats or something from the early 90s. And I was like, oh, this is going to be worth something. But I always just had it in my mind that something was going to be worth something. So I always kept them,
Yeah.
and video games, I kind of fucked up. I had over 200 games and I got desperate to get a PlayStation. So I sold all my games
Oh, dude, I
at a
have
pawn
one of
shop.
those. Uh, First, I want to ask I know everyone in the chat has their own Nintendo. Like your thing's Nintendo outside of BMX. I want to know what everyone in the chat's thing outside of BMX is. And then I had that exact same thing happen, but with Pokemon cards. Because Pokemon went out and Yu Gi Oh came in.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I got to trade all my Pokemon cards for these like 4 Yu Gi Oh cards. And even to this day, I'm like, why did I do that? I'm an
Yeah.
idiot.
And that's the hardest part is Pogs. When Pogs came out and
Hmm.
Pog tournaments were like the big thing, I used to get the collectible ones. Like
Yeah.
here's how bad I am.
Raze is amazing, guys.
Look at
You
this.
should
Look.
just come out.
Okay. So that
Whoa.
that's a Pog book for them all, right? But I bought two of these like a dumbass, and I don't know what happened to my Pog book. But look at this. So I I don't know if you can see it,
You can
but
kind of see it. You can see it like what they are. You can't see what
okay,
it says.
okay. So um, I was addicted to collecting baseball and football cards just because my friend was addicted to it, and I
Yeah.
used to collect GI Joes. And my cousin played a game, and he said if we chose these three cards and it was like rookie cards, whoever I chose was going to be my favorite player and my favorite team for the rest of my life. So I chose. He chose. Well, the card he flipped over, he got Jerome Bettis, so that was the Rams. And then my other cousin got Rick Meyer, was the Seattle Seahawks, and then I got Drew Bledsoe, which is the Patriots. So I'm a Patriots fan for life just because of that. But what's so funny is I don't give a fuck about sports.
Yeah.
So when people ask me what my favorite team is, I'm like the Patriots, and then they're like, "Oh, you're only choosing them because they're winning the Super Bowl." I've been a Patriots fan since Drew Bledsoe. Like I have all of this right here. This is how sad I am. Look at this. One, two, three. There's 30 pages, all Drew Bledsoe rookie cards. For all the years that he was in there, I collected all of Drew Bledsoe's rookie cards. And they're probably worth jack diddly shit now. But I have a whole thing of those. And look, I've moved so many times. In my life, I have lived, I think, 12 different states. And living in all of those, I've moved all of those times. So I don't know how I've kept half the shit I have.
Here you go, Ricky. Right here. Boom.
That's so legit. You know what's so funny though
This is my
is
Pokemon collection. What's so funny about it?
the funny part
That I
is
have current ones in here too.
that's good. The crazy part is you're still at home, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you go 20 years from not being at home and you keep all of that shit, that's where you realize you're like a hoarder.
Yeah.
It's like I'm 2,000 miles away from my regular or my mom's house,
Yep.
and I still have all of this shit. The only thing I didn't keep, which is so stupid, is I threw away my first BMX bike. The prototype Rich Hirsch Sub Rosa frame is sitting at my mom's house in the basement. I still forget to grab that thing. My first sponsor me frame is still sitting in that basement. So like
Man.
it's like BMX stuff. Well, VHSs. I collect BMX VHSs. I have hundreds of those.
Yeah.
Like I care about those, but other than that, like I don't really care. I mean, I got
That's that's funny because I literally have every single frame I've ever ridden. Every single one. Because I can't. I don't know. I feel like if I gave any of them away or got rid of any of them
what's up,
now,
Chris?
I'd be super bummed because I still have them all.
I just The older I get now, I just feel like if I get a brand new bike, I want to give that bike
Right.
away. I don't ever. I've given away so many bikes, and what's so funny is I don't publicly do it.
Yeah.
I like find a random kid, and I just like, hey, do you want bars or do you want a complete bike? And usually the kid will just be humble and be like, oh, I'll just take the bars, and I'll just give him my whole bike because it just
Yeah.
makes no sense for me to, you know what I'm saying? Like I
Oh, I
get
know
free.
exactly what you're saying.
I get the only thing I have to pay for. There's two things I still have to pay for, and it's forks because Merritt ain't making forks for a
Yeah.
long time. I don't think we ever want to.
Why
Forks and
bother?
brakes. Well, there's a way of making forks that potentially they would be stronger than the best fork. In all honesty, Odyssey makes the best fork.
100%. Like, there's just no getting around it.
No, there isn't, but there's a way to beat that one fork, but the price is doesn't make sense.
Oh, it's
So
just not worth it at that
no, it's
point.
not. Like, see, that's the whole point. Is people don't understand is like the tooling and molds and everything it costs to make a part is so expensive. Like the best way to say it is working at Merit. I am just equivalent to being Profile, except for I don't do Profile prices. Where Profile builds it in house and then they mark up all their prices to be $3 billion, and it's just not fair. And we basically almost do the same thing, but we try to make it at an affordable price because we try to undercut catalog stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like we could potentially make that fork, and there's a way of doing it, but it's so expensive. And
Yeah.
that's the shitty part.
Well, and like, just being realistic, you're not going to get everyone or even enough people off of Odyssey forks to make it worth it.
Right.
There's just too many people. Like, everyone already knows they're the best. So it's like, it's one of those investments that's like, I
What's
don't
up,
know if
Geoff?
this is worth it. Jeff
Yeah,
Mead's in
definitely.
here. Kiss BMX is in here.
Yeah, I see everybody, man. So is Sigma Ghost Zero. I
Yep.
see him all the time. Kevin Jackson's the man. Fuck, I know all these guys now because I'm doing the YouTube thing. So now I'm getting to know everybody more. So
Yep.
we're like cross fucking over here, where
Oh, Jesus.
where we're getting a piece of everyone. No, going back to just doing things outside of BMX, like that's what keeps me sane. Like lately, I've been riding my bike by myself for
Yeah.
like hours. Like I have been trying to learn new tricks, and the only way I can learn new tricks is if I'm in my own head and by myself, and I just turn on some oldies, and I just get an idea and I start dinking around. But
Yep.
I get bored. See, that's the worst part. Is I'll start being like, "Oh, I'm gonna do." Like in my mind, I've been trying to do this trick, and I don't know why, but I want to do cross-armed, cross-footed tricks.
You could do it.
I could, but I'm not flexible. That's my number one problem.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I want to do like anything cross armed is fucking hard because the only way I can get into that clip or that trick is to bar spin to get to it. And then anything for my feet, I'm not like you and Catfish where you both have rubber band feet. I don't. I'm not flexible at all. Well, I broke both my legs, so my right leg didn't set right. So
Yeah.
it's like one's like this and the other one's like this, but you know, I don't know. I'm a
I'm
fucking hoarder.
I'm the same way when it comes to learning stuff, but I do it even when I'm riding with people. That's why I try the same stuff for hours at a time in the middle of a session. Dude, the Odyssey glow in the dark stuff is crazy. Like, I don't I don't know. I wouldn't want to have one of those cuz I couldn't ride it. Like, they're
Yeah,
putting it on the sound wave. I couldn't ride that cuz you're going to destroy it, and that's just too cool to destroy.
it's it's funny how I wish other companies that were bigger like that made money took more chances and did more things.
Yeah, well, right now it's hard to do that. It'll happen whenever this BMX recession fades.
I don't know if it's so much a recession. In all honesty, it's more of a price wars. All of them are just completely undercutting one another, and the undercutting isn't fair to shops. Like if you talk to Kevin or you talk to Jeff, like the comparable price to, yeah, cool, the customer's going to get that complete bike at such a cheap price, but their margins are getting tapped into because they're paying the same price for that fucking bike. And everyone every year, cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. If you look, this is how generic it's getting right now with BMX, and kids don't realize this. Sub Rosa is making complete bikes with single wall wheels and fucking one piece cranks.
A lot of
Like,
companies do that.
no, you not a lot of companies. There's just the one, which is Sub Rosa, that's doing complete one piece cranks. I'm talking about
Sunday
Fit
makes
isn't
that.
doing it.
Oh, maybe I think Sunday just upgraded to not have them.
Did they? Well, either way, like that's the biggest price cut that you could ever think about doing. Like it's just, are we gonna seriously go back to 1992?
Yeah, Sunday must have just got rid of them. That's like the
What's up, Jason?
lowest of the low end when it comes to a complete bike. A certain company had forged cranks on completes. Huh.
Well, I'm not here to, and I always say this, obviously I can be biased, but I'm not making completes. Okay, I work for a company that makes BMX parts.
Yeah.
And obviously, we make aftermarket parts, and we have a designer, and they make everything, and we pay for all of our molds and everything. We don't slap our name. Merit doesn't make anything and puts our name on it. Like we don't put our name on somebody else's product.
Yeah.
We make everything in house. But what I'm saying though is, I watch it and I talk all the time to shops and everything, and it's just like that. I think that's what's kind of ruining BMX without kids really realizing that is like the parts are just getting cheaper and less expensive, so it's not good quality parts, and kids don't realize that. Like they just want cheap generic shit that's rainbow colored. That's all they want. But they don't realize that like that stuff doesn't last and it breaks and they have to keep replacing it.
How
And
was
it's
it
just like
10 years ago, 15 years ago?
everything was like, hey, you have to buy S&M, you have to buy standard, you have to buy this, you can't be running that, why are you running this? Like there was no complete parts package stuff. It wasn't cataloged. It was actual designers that worked at the company that made stuff, and it was all aftermarket stuff. It was high quality stuff. It wasn't generic dog doo-doo.
Uh,
I know, and this one always comes back here. Anyway, I know you hate talking about BMX. What? Okay.
no, it's
How about
okay.
this one? How about this one?
What's up?
I'm going to hang out with Austin Augie this weekend, and everybody is coming here to New York. So
Oh,
if you live close and you want to win money, Austin Augie's giving away money.
is this the Dawn thing?
Yeah, I don't know how he's doing or whatever not. I will say my opinion on this is it's good for BMX.
Hell yeah, anything like that's good.
If somebody's willing to do his own money and he's doing it himself, then that's great. I wish. Here I go again.
Uh,
I
Kevin
Trey Jones
said,
has a lot of backers, but if Trey did this all on his own, holy shit.
well, what? I don't know. I'm not even going to go there. Kevin says there was still generic dog doo doo back in the day. That's what I thought. It was just.
Poverty, yeah, because you had Trek, you had Specialized. Yes, you did have Cheese. You had Cheese,
Yeah, but like,
Specialized, Trek.
as long as there's been complete bikes, there have been like the low end that had the cheapest parts possible on them.
Yeah, but there was no such thing as doing tiers of those. It was
Yeah, there
just full
was.
model.
No, there
It was
wasn't. It's when I got a
15
complete.
years ago.
I'm talking 13 years ago, long enough. Oh, about to be 14. When I got my first Fit complete, it was the Fit team. There was a Fit Am below the Fit team. My
Oh,
Fit.
you're on Fit. Okay, my mind is thinking 2002, which I guess is Fit, but Fit just had the series I think they were doing at the very beginning, but they didn't do too many. Edwin came out with his signature frame 2004 with no brake mounts.
What about the $1.99 or whatever that was?
I said the poverty, which
Oh,
was
that's poverty.
specialized. Somebody just
Uh,
put specialized.
Big box brands had catalog stuff. GT, Dino, Diamondback, Mongoose. Oh, buddy, this is my kind of combo.
What
Well,
happened?
Jeff Mead just said that. Because I remember when I got my Fit, it had those generic pinch bolt 3-piece cranks on it. The forks that came on it weren't the best.
Okay, well, how about this? It was more education where they were pushing more aftermarket stuff, and you had more company-owned based part. Like FBM was bigger then. You had Terrible One that was inside there. You had Mutiny. Mutiny was huge back then,
Well,
so everyone was buying Mutiny.
I think a big reason for that is that was like a really high point in BMX, like in its popularity. Like Mira was, getting up. Nyquist was still pretty popular and all that stuff. We need a top 10 ribbed pegs video. Brody, if you make me an outline of something like that, like I will make that video. But it's got to be
I
something
can't.
worthy.
What is it? The Stogies. The I see it. Kevin would know more than me on some of them. I had a fucking pair of Haro pegs from way back in the day that were like literally almost 6 inches long. I swear to God, they were like 5.5.
That's funny. Coalition. Coalition was a cheap brand. I didn't know that. I just remember that name.
I can't. Was Coalition part of? What's his name owned Coalition, right? Hey, Kevin, who owned Coalition? It was the guy that works out right now. What the hell is it? Greg Walsh. Greg Walsh owned it, right? And then it was distroed through Kink, correct?
Rich.
And Greg Walsh.
Somebody says Jeff says Rich. Coalition had Taj involved.
Yeah, Taj was on the team. I'm talking Greg Walsh is the one that I thought owned it.
Pova. 2 people said Pova. Now someone says Primo. Distro. Primo Distro. Taj had signature grips from Coalition.
Brian Terrata was on Coalition, but I'm talking like, I swear to God, what was the company Greg Walsh owned then? If it wasn't Coalition, I thought it was Coalition.
I don't know how far they are behind us because Kevin just said Greg Walsh maybe.
UGP is owned by Ron Bonner, who owns
it
Shadow.
Was owned by him.
Yeah, hey, do me a favor. You can open up your computer and do something, right?
Yeah. Pova
can you see if
owned
Coalition. I think Pova has always been, I don't think he's an owner. He's always been TM because he was a TM for Etnies for like 20 years.
Anyway.
Hell on Earth? Okay, Hell on Earth makes sense.
I have a Hell on Earth shirt.
Look up and see what Greg Walsh, if he was the one that owned Coalition. Because it's going to bug me now.
The problem with this is that BMX at its height was just
What's up,
not.
Sky?
Yep, Coalition's creator, Greg Walsh.
God damn it.
Hold on. Interview on BMX Union from 2012 says Greg Walsh would be coming back on board to handle all aspects of the brand once again. Apparently that means he left.
Yeah, because I thought he did it with full BMX nerdgasm.
Sidewall distribution, Mark Owen.
Either way, I knew that Greg was like the back end of it, but he had a fucking killer team when that first came out. Because I think Coalition, didn't it at the beginning have Paul Buchanan on it too? Holy Christ.
I don't know anything about that brand other than what the logo looked like.
Yeah, you do. You remember when it came back and it had Sean McIntosh, David Grant. You don't remember when it came back?
No, dude. When my first like 5 or 6, maybe more years of BMX, I did not pay attention to anything or care at all about anything other than riding and making videos.
God, that's so weird to me.
Yeah, well. Homan was on it for a minute or two, apparently. I feel that Haro or stolen 9-tooth wheel upgrade kits started the whole let's make it cheap and flashy movement. What about the fact that bikes were just made as light as humanly possible? Would that make them cheaper?
I feel like when Eastern started doing the trade in your fucking generic broken bike and we'll give you parts for it, that's when I noticed like the whole like pawn shop part of BMX. Do you remember that? Eastern was like, "Yo, even if it isn't our brand, if you trade it in, we'll give you credit for a new Eastern part."
That's a cool concept, though.
No, it is a cool concept, but at the same time, that pretty much I
I think
I
it's a
don't
cool concept. If all companies did that, that would be pretty cool.
I we'd be broke.
Right. I
It'd
mean,
be just
obviously
like,
you can't do that because you don't make any money that way.
well, I hate saying it is like it's a company. Brands are like you have to make money. The
Yeah.
companies wouldn't be there without making
There's
money.
no there's no hate saying that. That's just the way it is. That's the way of the world. You have to make money or else the freaking stuff falls apart.
I sometimes envy Chris Muller when Chris Muller for a while was going on his Instagram and calling out kids,
Dude, that was
saying like
so funny.
it's funny, but it's really rude and wrong, and you shouldn't do it. But at the same time, it's like I look at sponsor me things every day, and I hear it every day, and there's some in there that are so damn crazy. Like I if a kid just sends me like, "Hey, hook me up, this is it," or "Give me this," I don't pay attention to any of that.
Yeah.
But if a kid writes me like a tree, a whole tree, like he took a whole like 42 pages and it killed a tree just to write me about getting it, I will go out of my way to try to help him as best as I can. I don't give a fuck how good he is. I've had edits. This one's I don't even know if this is like Mike Brendan will be like, "Yo, Ricky, come in the office. You have to watch this sponsor me edit." And I always think like, "Oh, it's going to be the most embarrassing thing." But it's not usually the most embarrassing thing. It's more funny because there's some kids that like are influenced by like Kevin without Kevin realizing it, or like myself or like Tim Knoll, and there'll be like up and coming kids that are just attracted to being weird, and it's hard to just like because it takes a lot of talent to be weird in a sense and make it fluent. But when a kid makes a sponsor me tape for that, it's usually they'll just stop on a ledge and they'll take a foot off and then they'll put it on and they'll jump over it. There's like
Yeah.
no fluidity, like they're not fluent with it yet because they're just learning. But Mike will come over here and go, "God damn it, Ricky, now you got every kid over here breakdancing on his bike." I was like, "Mike, this is awesome. This is like giving kids a different way of looking at bikes and a simpler way, like a way that they can go. Like there's so much to it. Look at how many kids are probably influenced to do an ice pick because of you.
None.
You think there's none, but there's a lot of dudes out there, probably a lot of UK kids that probably really enjoy your ice picks
They might
because the
like them, but
UK,
I don't see people doing them.
yeah, there's tons of kids. I'm gonna start tagging you every time I see a kid trying to imitate you.
Okay, because I don't see it.
Well, it's really hard to imitate you because nobody can sit with their ball sack on a fucking back wheel and do an ice pick for 9 hours.
Hey, you know
You
what
know,
they say? Find what you do best and do it better than anyone else.
I thought you were gonna say, "Hey, you know what they say about a guy sitting on his balls on his tires?" And I was like, "I don't know where this is going, Brent, but I'm listening."
Jeff Mead, thank you.
What'd he say?
He just said that I was a major influence to his riding. And then Kiss said, I'm too fat to do a brand ice pick. I don't mean to laugh, but you're definitely not too fat because I've seen you send me stuff with ice picks involved.
I, you know what? I'm gonna say this. There's tons of people on here. We all hang out. This whole thing's about having conversation. I really get motivated by Kiss. Kiss the other day made a video. He uploaded it. I follow him on Instagram. I instantly went to it, and He motivated me because he did something I used to do 25 years ago. I used to go outside, find a ledge, and try every trick I've ever learned on that ledge. And he made a video yesterday of just doing, or I think it was 2 days ago. And I was so motivated that I had to message him back and be like, you fuck, now I got to go do that. And I just really like that stuff. And like Geoff, I would say Geoff, it's Jeff, but Jeff will go and do like, you know how you guys do that brakes turn down thing? By the way, you did that 5 tap to turn down thing. That was awesome, Fran.
Thanks, dog.
But Jeff does so many of those crazy fucking shoofanu ice pick bar spin fucking goofy things that I'm like, dude, I wish I could do that. And then we have, let me go through here. Who else do we got? Kevin Jackson. No fucking clue what you do, brother, but I see you everywhere. Sigma, yeah, change your name and let's see your real name, brother, because you were saying about change your name.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know the Sky A, but I'm saying like a majority of the people that are in here, I pay attention to them. And obviously Kevin. Kevin, there's sometimes, I swear Kevin doesn't know this secretly, but I'll go back to his Instagram way back and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to steal that. Or what makes it even funnier is Ryder and Black, who I wish would come on here, but Ryder and Black and Kevin, they're older than me. They're a few years older than me, so it's more of looking up to them. And there have been times where I'll post something, Kevin will post something, and then fucking Ryder and Black will post it, and all three of us are basically doing the same trick on something the same, but it's all in our own way.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good.
Yeah, I like all you guys.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta learn to ride flatland because basically every goddamn trick I've been doing lately is basically a flatland move.
Hive mind, literally the hive mind. No, there's not snow here yet, Jason. I made the entire world think that it snowed here when I posted that snow trails video.
On that old bike? Was that a Robinson?
No, it's a S&M Holmes, a 95. But I posted that in my story and had literally, no exaggeration, 20 or more people message me about it. Like, there's snow already? Or, like, it took me so long to figure out that this wasn't now. I was like, holy crap, I had absolutely no idea that I was going to make people think that it snowed.
Could we do, can we give me 2 minutes and then I'm going to swap over and go to my phone and then drive and then do this? Because I got to go to the woman's.
Yeah.
Because I just realized what time it is and I got to drive there.
Yeah.
I'll call you back in a couple minutes.
Okay, bye.
Marijuana!
He gone. He's not gone yet, but he's gone. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about one of my favorite riders in all of Ohio. I will show you right now. Let me pull up his Instagram. You guys might know him. If you don't, you all have to follow him right now and tell him that I sent you. Vinny DeVera. VINNIEDEVERA. Tell him that I sent you. Every single one in here. Comment or follow his Instagram. Watch this post. Look at this. He's doing foot flares. And he's never done them before. He probably did it in 5 minutes because he's that good. Is that a foot front flare? Was that second one a foot front flare? Or no, was it? I'm lost. Jeff, that means a lot to me. Dude, this guy right here, I'm telling you, if you guys don't follow him, you need to follow him. He does it all. Look at this. Look at this air. And, like, that's not all it is. Oh, sometimes he falls. But just sometimes. If you guys didn't know, Vinny is the first person who did the double loop thing at Swamp Fest, and he also was one of the only people, if not the only person, who tricked it, because he did tuck no-hander. Jeff, you need to come back soon so we can ride together. That was so much fun. Vinny, 3 and everything. If you guys don't follow him, I'm serious, you really should, because he can do anything.
Ooh, that was.
Yeah. And he can air and flare so high. Look at that. One-handed table. Proper as it gets. February. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. What's another good one? Oh, yeah. He just does stuff like this. Seriously, one of my favorite riders. That was a foot flare. That's crazy. Look at this. He's front flipping in the rain. Or not in the rain, but in the wet. He's front flipping that big old gap.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Oh, Ricky's calling. There he is.
Is it dark?
Maybe.
Oh
Hello?
wait, hold on. Let me get.
Oh, I
Hold on.
muted it. Hold on. There we go. I turned my volume off, so I didn't know you were there.
All right, I'm coming. I'm here.
Oh, he's here. He sounds like he's Top Gun, but he's here.
Hell yeah. Oh my god. What did I miss?
I was just showing people one of my favorite riders in Ohio, Vinny DeVera. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah. I think I saw a clip of him today doing a fast plant something. It looked like or something.
Fast plant front flare.
Oh god.
And he's the guy who did he's the first one who did the double loop at Swamp Fest last year. He tricked it, the open loop. Enjoy your food, Tom Dunn. Ricky's connection is poor. I'm telling you guys, if you didn't go follow him and tell him that I sent you, you're slacking.
So that kid's gonna be the next big thing, you think?
Dude, I really, really hope that he is, because he deserves it. He's such a humble kid. Like, you know how a lot of people will be like, they'll be like, so you'll compliment them and they'll just be like, oh yeah, like I'm not that good or whatever. And they're like, you know, they don't really mean it.
Yeah.
Vinny is like, he means it. Like, he genuinely doesn't see how amazing he is on a bike.
There's a lot of new kids that are coming up, but they're doing a lot of those new. The old man in me, I'm just gonna be the old man. They're doing all those new fucking circus bride fucking arm twist, tail whip, bar spin, kickflip thing together. There's like some young kid that's in. I don't know if you follow Van's Bicycle Center, but there's like a weird kid doing all these funky ass tricks, like just straight front flips off of 6-foot quarters to flat, and then just doing those weird bike flips, and then the one where you throw the bike like Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a kid that's doing, like, he's just doing all those tricks. I'm like, how the hell is that just possible? Like,
some people,
I thought you needed a mega ramp.
Dude, I don't know. Some people, like, they say, like, some people just got it. But some people just got it.
Right, but they wouldn't have it if they didn't see it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when we always go back, like each generation is supposed to be better than the generation before. Just the only problem is the greatest rider that's alive right now, people still can't beat him, and that's Garrett Reynolds. Like, you're just beating Garrett is crazy. But I'm saying, like, each batch of new kids that's coming out is just crazier and crazier and crazier, and it's funny. Remember when Tyler Finagle came out?
Dude,
he was like the biggest thing.
That kid came out like a freaking cannon.
That's what I'm saying. And then now, you know, now he's hanging off the side of fucking balconies acting crazy.
Well, because he got hurt really bad. He had to have discs replaced in his neck.
Well, I'm not just going that. I'm just saying that, like, things happen.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, damn it, I had something I was going to say, but I can't remember anymore.
I gotta pull this down. Hold on. I'm so good at fucking knowing cops and how sneaky they fucking think they are. Sneaky pricks. that like I know one's coming up behind me, so I don't want him to see that I have like my phone thing on, so he doesn't harass me. Yeah, but I just over here, cops are just ticket happy, dude. If you fart and they get wind of that, you'll get noise pollution, and it'll be like a $400 fine. Like I don't have like $400 is like eating lunch at Wendy's here. That's how
Yeah.
expensive it is to live on the East Coast. The East Coast is just a big thing of wasting your money and time. I'm
Happens.
definitely not a fan of the East Coast at all.
You can come live in Ohio.
I don't want to be in Ohio either. If I'm going to move anywhere, I already said there's 3 places. I'm going to Las Vegas, Nevada, because that's the greatest fucking place in the whole world because you can ride all the time. There's 36 skate parks everywhere, and it's got casinos. Or I'm going to Chandler, Arizona, or I'm going to just Long Beach because that just makes the most sense.
Yep. The only thing, first of all, Chris Gold with another $2 super chat. Thank you.
What is he chat or what is he giving it for?
He said Yellow is in prison. # free Yellow.
Oh my God.
But second of all, I don't think I could ever live in Long Beach.
Yeah.
They don't have a prefab Woodward skate park.
Oh, okay.
Like, well, and there's just not enough. Like, not a lot of the parks there have quarter pipes. You know?
Yeah. I don't give a shit about skate parks. In all honesty, I care more about people. Like,
yeah, but
I'm more excited about people and weather.
there's
like
not enough people there to make me not want to have a 4-foot quarter pipe I can ice pick all day long within 5 minutes of me.
Well, that's because that's what you're addicted to. One day you're going to move out of your house and realize that, right? That's what we need to do. Grant, what are you going to do when you have to move?
I'll move.
Yes. But
what's your point? The reason I haven't
point,
yet is because I have $900 in student loan payments every month.
That's normal.
No, it's not. That's more than a house payment.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
That's
is. Ask
cheap as
anyone
shit.
in here who has a house.
That's cheap as shit. $900 a month, that's cheap.
Ricky, I'm not from New Jersey. When you live in
I
New
know.
Jersey,
That's what I'm
that
saying.
might
Over
be
here,
cheap.
it's dog shit.
But I'm not going to live over there.
No, you're smart. You're going to move to, where would you move? If you can move somewhere else out of where you are, you have to leave where you are. That town. You have to leave that state. What state would you move in?
I mean, obviously, if I have to leave Ohio, I'm going to go to Long Beach.
My man.
I just don't think I ever could.
And end of story.
I'd probably, I would probably go to Long Beach for a couple months at a time.
Well, I mean, you've already done it, so you know how it makes sense, right?
Yeah. It's just the whole paying, like, living somewhere thing that's expensive.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It definitely is, and it's hard because like if you're into BMX, you have to grow up. You got to pay bills, so you have to work.
Yep.
Like even being a professional BMXer nowadays, you have to have a second job.
Yep.
Unless you're one of the top 5% and they make enough money to not live. Other than that, you're gonna have a shitload of roommates. You're gonna be poor as hell. You're gonna be living off of your sponsors' clothing that you get, and you're gonna be living in a van down by a river.
Yep.
And you're gonna have no health insurance.
Nope.
And I think that's the number one thing BMXers need. Like the one thing that we actually need is BMXers need insurance, health insurance.
Oh,
and that's
absolutely.
like the last thing we get.
Absolutely.
But don't get me wrong, getting paid to ride a bike is probably the most amazing thing in the world.
Yep. Well, I wouldn't know. So I can't just say yep.
but it doesn't it doesn't pay the bills. Like, I mean, it pays for food.
Yeah.
It's good to just have something to go and buy food,
Right.
but a majority of the time, it's just gonna pay for food. It ain't gonna pay any bills.
Right.
Oh my God.
Everyone's
Scary
in there
highway.
telling me how expensive it is to live where they live, and that's why I don't live where you live, because I wouldn't be able to.
Oh, are they talking about Kevin? Because Kevin's got, how many kids does Kevin have? 9?
Jesus, that's got to
4?
be crazy expensive.
Well, I know Kevin, I think, has 3 or 4 kids, and then he's got a house and stuff like that. Jesus, I couldn't imagine. And he lives in New York.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Why are you sick? What's going on?
Everybody's sick around me. My dad was sick for like a whole week. And then Victoria's sick right now. She didn't go to work for the past 2 days. Then Cody was sick. So it's just everybody's sick. So I'm getting something. I need to not get something because my childhood riding buddy, like the dude who got me into riding, bought
Yeah.
a dirt jumper, and we're going to Raise on Saturday. So I can't be
See,
sick.
if you didn't live at your house, you wouldn't be sick.
Yes, I would. Because Victoria got it, and her sister got it too.
Yeah, man. Once that shit goes around, though, you know how it is.
Yeah, everybody gets it. It sucks. And there's people where I edit videos at who like sneeze and cough and stuff and just don't cover their mouths. Then they use the doors and just go out the doors and stuff. So naturally you touch that, then you end up touching your face and getting sick from it.
It's just better to not know what people do. But I hate when you go to a restroom and a dude's just got a handful of cock and he just totally doesn't wash his hands, and you watch him grab the door. And it's like, dude, there's hundreds of people that are washing anus and touching pee-pee, and they don't wash their hands.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sigma, yes,
so
I'm
gross.
going to film at Ray's on Saturday. And get a hold of me, Xmas Pete. Let me know whenever you're going up. Yeah, people are disgusting. That's what it boils down to. If people wash their hands.
I always find it gross, like when you go out riding street and you guys stop at a convenience store, and you always got that one greasy BMXer dude that never showers, has greasy ass, dirty, nasty hands, and stinks. And then he'll just straight up eat a cheeseburger. Hold on once and grab it.
Oh, we lost him. Oops. Anyways, back to Vinny. So, Vinny is the best. And that's what I gotta say about it. Haha, that greasy dude earned it though. That's what I'm saying. I am that greasy dude sometimes. I take a shower every day. I just wear pads that make me stink because they stink. There he is. He's back. Guess who's
Hey.
back? Back again.
Can you hear me? No, hold on.
I can hear you.
Yeah, and I just always like can't understand how people don't get sick. All right, here's a person, probably one of the most. Oh God, I'll just say it. All right, Mike Hoder. When Mike Hoder was a little kid, Fat Mike, that little dude used to do the nastiest things. He would never change his pants for like a month. He would pick his nose and wipe his boogers on his pants. He would just do the most foulest, craziest things and never get sick. And I'm over here washing my hands, taking a shower like twice a day, brushing my teeth 6 times a day, and I'm getting just sick all the time. But yet, the one dude that's wiping boogers on his pants never gets sick.
That's the way it works, man. You expose yourself to all of that, you just don't get sick. Yeah.
Just talking about this is making me sick.
I'm hoping I can get some good sleep and wake up better.
Yeah, man. Well, especially how much time and energy you pump into your videos with editing and
And
doing
everything
all the
else I
stuff
have
you
to
do.
do.
You know, you're also editing photos and then, keeping track of Instagram, and then you still got the game of bike, which you should be losing by now. Hint, hint.
Bro, I'm not losing to a guy with 2 pegs and brakes. I will lose to the next guy who's actually going to beat me because he can do crazy stuff like down whip to disaster.
Crazy.
I can't do that.
Is Bobby Alistair still in it?
Bobby is not in it.
He just kind of gave up, right? He just didn't care.
I don't know what happened. He just said he's out, and he was out.
Because he sent me a clip of him doing something, and I'm like, why didn't you put that on there? He's like, oh, that was just playing around.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's so good. Because all he had to do was what is that? The nothing whiplash. You know, the one where you do the whiplash without using your feet?
Yeah, but he can't use his front brakes.
Why? No one has front brakes?
Against Sponge, he couldn't use front brakes.
Oh, he was playing Sponge?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Sponge got one set in, and then he just kind of was out. So,
it's probably because he couldn't use brakes.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. It doesn't really matter. But what I do know is that Sponge is up against X Factor Toothpick Man.
Damn. Fucking cops, dude. Quit pulling people over, man. You guys are fucking retarded.
I thought they were
Fucking
pulling
get
you
that
over.
revenue up.
I was like, oh, we're about to get some good stuff here.
Oh, if I got pulled over?
Like that one video you had.
Oh, I got in trouble for that fucking... Oh, I didn't get in trouble. That kid started getting in trouble. I have the video still. I wish.
It's
I'm waiting
not
for him to
online
retire.
anymore?
Huh?
It's not online anymore?
No, I had to pull it down.
The one where you guys got pulled over while you were filming or something?
Yeah, I got pulled over and filmed it.
Why'd you have to pull it down? That's so dumb.
Because it started going viral, and in the first day it had 10,000 views, and his police chief caught him with it and was like, yo, you need to take that down, or we're pressing charges or something
They
crazy
can't
like
press
that.
charges.
So he hit me up, and he's like, yo, my boss, well, he can because he let me go. I was going almost 100 miles an hour. He was supposed to take my car and arrest me. And then he found out I rode BMX, and then he's like, oh, it's you, Montana Ricky. And so on camera, he told me he was supposed to arrest me.
I'd be uploading that tomorrow.
So he, you know what I mean? And he just gave me a favor. So I would rather, because in Virginia, I guess if you're going past X amount of speed, they can tow your car, and then you get your car impounded, and then you have to go to jail for it, I guess. So I don't know. I just didn't want anything like that. Like,
yeah,
even though the video was doing really, really, really good and was getting, it was just going around Facebook like constantly.
Yeah.
That's why the views went up. But I'm not going to have something gimmicky up there and get myself in trouble.
Hey,
or something like
you know
that.
how your boy got on there.
I know, Billy Perry. I'm not a Billy Perryer, okay? I'm not a John Hicks. I don't need to go to the hood. Yo, what up, dog?
Yeah, but that was real.
What?
Your situation was real. Like you.
Oh.
I don't know. I get it.
Well,
though.
and obviously I'm a fucking moron. If you give me a camera and a cop doesn't mind me filming, I'm gonna go over and beyond with it.
Yeah.
So obviously, and I don't know. I just don't look at, like, I'm not in it for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's gonna ruin someone's life or get them in trouble, I just don't want to do that.
I wonder what the statute of limitations is to where you could post it and no one could get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I know that his boss wasn't happy with him because he was supposed to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's probably like, what are you doing? Letting people go because they ride a bicycle?
It's good, though. That's what you get for riding BMX, kids. Go 100 miles an hour, get pulled over by the cops, whip your phone out, and I wasn't even a phone. I actually had a real. I don't know what the camera was, but we had one. Hey, look, it's me.
Someone asked where you're going. Ricky is going to a secret shred spot where he's going to go do a crazy trick right now.
If you guys go look on Instagram, I'll be posting something soon. It'll be on a fat ripper, but it'll be something. Maybe I'll do some filming with that Austin Augie thing and try to do a different video, but I doubt it.
Make it happen.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have an idea for my video tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited about. So
make it happen.
But my video's just talking, so that doesn't matter. But I'm pretty excited for tomorrow's topic. I love you. You know where I am. I'm going to see the woman. Gonna make some love.
All right.
Woo-hoo.
Have fun.
Hey.
Huh.
How many people are on?
20.
All 20. Oh, shit. 20-inch BMX. All of you motherfuckers, I love every single one of you. Brant Moore, I don't know why you put me on this thing, but I love you. Hey, heal up, man. I don't like you being sick, dude.
Me
it
either.
sucks.
Sucks ass.
You know what I mean? Like, you just show up, you start doing a live video in a fucking bathrobe. You should have had hot chocolate. You should have just outplayed it, and then CK would have had to donate everything.
Sick.
All right, love you guys. Have a good day. We'll talk soon. See you guys tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Getting rid of it. There he is. If you guys didn't follow Vinny, you should probably follow Vinny because he did this before anyone else has Oh, Andy took his hands off. Oh yeah, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone. With that being said, I'm going to jump off here and go to sleep because I'm sick and I'm tired and I need some rest. So, thank you all for hanging out. Have a good night. Thank you, Chris Gold, for the super chats. You are amazing, and you didn't have to do that. No one ever has to super chat, just so you guys know. Don't ask for it. Some of you just do it, and I really appreciate it, but you never have to. Good night.